tall. Words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard.
Welcome to the spot. It's time to ignite. Oh yeah. Operation Hangout. The feeling's just right. Chilling with the crew. We're ready to groove. Opinions flying high. Come on, let's move. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Pull up a chair, let's get in the zone. Voices blending smooth like a funky trombone. Oh yeah. Topics from the heart, making us think. With a twist and a shout, raise up your drink. Cheers! Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Bring it down, shake it up, feel the beat. With every word we share, the circle's complete. Living loud, think it proud, that's what we do. Oh yeah. Join the club, come on through, we're waiting for you. Alright. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Hang out.
Sorry, guys, I had a little difficulty in the background, so give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, guys, we're back at another stream, another live. So you know where you're at. You're Spartan Network. I'm the host, the Spartan, aka Peter. Tonight we are talking about which superhero could beat the Terminator. I mean, destroy him, announce him, all that stuff. So, but I can't do this by myself. I gotta bring this knucklehead in here. So, and he may know a thing or two. So let's bring my brother from UK in.
Eh,
Another
how you
headache?
doing, old man? How you doing, old man?
Not bad, yourself, man. Another headache?
Yes, from the wife beating me last night after I kind of called her a bit of a hoe. So
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. You shouldn't do that. You know that.
having a bit of fun with the woman. You're right though.
So tell me your opinion. Do you think who's your opinion who can beat the Terminator?
Superman.
Okay, he's on the list, actually. He's on the list. I'm not gonna deny that. He's one of the tops, actually. All right, that's all you have, Superman. All right, so I'm going to break this down for you guys. So we have a couple of these guys. Okay, the first one is Superman. Batman is actually on the list. Iron Man, I'm not surprised at that. Wolverine, Hulk, Vision, Doomsday, Unicron, and Deadpool. All right, you got the list. The floor is yours, Greg. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
Well, Superman's strength. Iron Man just cut the Terminator in half with a fucking laser. And the Hulk would just crush him. Simple as that. That's all I got, mate. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So Superman, obviously he has a nearly super
Apart
strength.
from kryptonite.
Yeah.
Apart from kryptonite.
Yeah, super strength, speed, heat vision, and flight. That's where it benefits him.
Yeah.
All right. Batman has no superpower, but he can give the Terminator what says here, become a real threat, meaning his technology can beat him on that. So Iron Man has advanced AI, weaponry, armor, and ability to update himself. And that's a plus because every time you know anything. Cyborg, that's one I think he might is the most powerful one, might kick his ass, is already part machine with technology including of hacking abilities. You know what I'm saying? So we have a combination of that. Okay, Wolverine. Obviously, we had the he and talent steel, regeneration, and he's pretty technical with his techniques.
Adamantium, not steel.
And thank you. All right. So
Adamantium,
then
that's what
the
you
Hulk,
say.
the Hulk probably give him a nice another run for his money. Is incredible. He's strength. Angrier he gets, more he attacks. Obviously. All right, then Vision is a android body, super strength, energy attacks, and ability to pause obviously with his thoughts with one of the stones he has. Doomsday is probably the ultimate nightmare you have. Overload, strength, and pause attacks.
With Vision, he can literally just
Yeah.
turn himself invisible and have the Terminator face straight through him. Every hit he hit does.
Yeah.
So
Unicron technical, not a superhero, but a ability to I guess go ahead.
energy out, suck the energy out.
Yeah, kind of like an AI thing.
Well, you also
go
got to
ahead.
think about the fact that the Terminator, if he wanted to, he could self-destruct. He's got two nuclear reactor cores inside him. If you remember rightly, in Terminator 3, where he actually ends up having to cut himself open and ripping out the flame in one of the cores and blow it up. I mean, he's got two fusion cores. They're like nuclear reactors. All he has to do is stuff. I mean, you saw in the third one where he threw the fucking reactor core out the window, that pet truck, or whatever you want to call it. And there was like a fucking massive explosion. It was huge, and it was like the reactions from a nuclear bomb. So as soon as it explodes, everything else in its vicinity gets destroyed.
Exactly. So Deadpool is a little he has combat abilities with a match body would be absorbed by chaos techniques, and we know that because Deadpool has the regeneration technique, like Wolverine.
But we're not as good as Wolverine. Wolverine's regenerative is a lot faster than a hell of a lot faster than.
Oh,
Deadpool.
absolutely.
Do you remember the episode, one of the movies where he got ripped in half? Yeah,
yeah. It took him like almost a month to grow his legs back.
For his lower half body to react. I still want to know if you chop off a part of the Deadpool, would he grow back on that second part?
What part?
Like, what was that guy? The Juggernaut ripped him in half in one of the movies. Yeah, and he was ripped straight, literally from his waist down. He was stripped straight in half. He grew the legs back, but would the legs grow him back from the top up? From the top of the legs up?
It doesn't work like that. So how it works, because the brain is the function of the body. All right.
Yeah.
As long as the brain is functional, like if you rip his head off and his head's off, his body's just gonna grow down. It doesn't grow up; it grows down, like almost a reverse plant thing of it.
Okay.
So if you talk about when he rips them in half, grow, one side grows and the other side, that means you have two Deadpools.
Yeah, no, that's what I was wondering if that was ever possible. But...
No, not in this scenario. It has been scenarios that you destroy an enemy in different universes, and when you destroy them, you're cloning them technically.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yep.
There are a bunch of different, let's say, not only Marvel and other universes, like trying to think of another one. I can't remember one off my head, but there are comic books out there that you destroy cut your enemy in half, they regenerate the tail. But let's get this next guy in here. Of course, he loves his baby oil.
Oh God, slippery.
Yes, he's very slippery. Of course, he doesn't know what Planet Namek is.
No wonder no one can hold him down. Oh, Jesus, it's already flaming, being blinded. Oh God. God,
All right.
I've been blinded by that flaming.
Hang on, I got a new comment for you, Anton.
What's up?
Okay, ever heard of Spirit Bomb?
Say again?
Ever heard of Spirit Bomb from Dragon Ball Z?
No, I've heard. No, not really.
Okay, the Spirit Bomb is a technique. He literally collects all the spirits and it becomes a little bomb or a big bomb. It depends where, he has created a bomb as big as the planet. All right.
Okay.
In your case, it's the head bomb.
Oh God. I shaved this bad boy a few days ago. It looks pretty. Come on now. It's
that's
smooth.
why it's so shiny. I'm blinded by it. I'm having
hey, nice and shiny for you, Craig.
Do you need some of this too?
Nah, I'm good.
Brightness down
all right,
on TV.
Anton,
come on, wasn't it not
your turn now. Who can beat the Terminator? Who is the superhero you come to your mind says, or anti-hero who says, oh, the Terminator has no chance?
Oh wow.
Or he has he's gonna run him for money. I'll give you at least. Give me you top three at least.
At least 3?
Yes. Let me make it a little easier for your age.
Oh wow. Next you know you're gonna be asking me for my AARP card or something.
I thought you had one already.
No, I don't. All right, shut up. And I think my parents were teasing me about it too.
But you gotta admit one thing. Be honest with us. When you're in line, you get the citizen discount, right?
No, I don't. Shut up. No, I don't. All right, 3.
You should.
All right, 3 heroes. Wolverine.
Okay.
Deadpool.
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey? My wife said Jean Grey.
Okay. Well, you said Wolverine number 1, right?
Yeah. I said
What's the second
Deadpool.
one?
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Okay. And Jean Green.
My wife said Jean Grey.
Wait.
But
So, I'll put you guys as a team together tonight. Right?
Okay.
You got 2 out of 3 right. I'll give you guys a list, all right?
All right.
Superman's number 1. Batman
Okay.
in second place. Iron Man, Cyborg, Wolverine, Hulk, Vision, Doomsday, Unicron, and Ultron, and Deadpool.
Oh wow.
I think from all this list, I'm gonna put my money onto it.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna say fucking Iron Man.
Really?
Think about it. So the prescription is here, right?
Okay.
It says, where is it? Iron Man, advanced AI, weaponry, armor, and ability to update himself. AI. What is Terminator technically?
It's an AI-driven cybernetic cyborg.
Okay. Now, we know for a fact, right, that Tony Stark could hack.
That is true.
That's
scary.
See where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Stark hacking into Skynet. Yo, that's scary. That is scary. Deathlock is the closest thing in the Marvel Universe to Terminator, predates the first. Oh, wow. I forgot all about Deathlock. Thank you, Eric.
And you know what's funny about this? And I think Greg, I apologize. Eric can jump in here. They have made a bunch of comic books. The comic books like Terminator versus XYZ, Superman, Terminator versus so on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't remember. I'm actually going to look it up right now. There are a bunch of those.
But here's the thing. Which Terminator is the question?
We're talking about the original from the from the second one. Is it T-1000? Yeah.
Oh.
That's the one we're going to go with tonight, all right? Because that is the one that did the most. Okay, so a couple of these are popping up. Terminator versus the Predator, Terminator versus the RoboCop. That should have been interesting.
Would the nut shot count is the question.
Yeah.
But which RoboCop? The older version or the newer one?
Older version, the 92 version.
With Peter Weller, yeah.
Yeah. So, because that's one of the most badass one.
Yeah. Definitely. And no matter what Peter Weller does, he's always going to be associated with RoboCop. He's always going to have that.
You got to think about the Terminators, right? Even 1985 version, okay, of the Terminator or whatever version it was.
The T-800.
The Terminator itself was always faster than the RoboCop, even though it was placed in the future where the RoboCop was. RoboCop
different
slow.
timelines.
Yeah, I know it's different timelines, right? But even
Terminator
came from where the RoboCop was, yeah, RoboCop was slow moving.
He does have a point. It was
but Terminator was always fast.
The T-1000 was fast.
T-1000 was liquid metal.
Yeah, that's the one that was fast.
So was T-800. They could run quite quick. RoboCop never could run. He could probably hop out of the way, but he could never run.
That he does have a point.
So some of the other comic books, I just want to go over the list really fast. The major Terminator comic book crossovers are, as said, 92 was RoboCop versus Terminator. Then you have Aliens, Predator versus Terminator. 200, obviously, 03 versus they're not teaming up or anything like that.
Oh wow.
Superman versus Terminator in 2000. It was called Superman versus Terminator: Death of the Future. I think that's a very interesting name too.
Yeah, it is.
Transformer versus Terminator 2020.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that would have been interesting.
I disagree with this a little bit. I'm like, that's the point. If he's high power, yeah. I think the Terminator would try to fight back. I'm not saying he's going to win. I think Terminator is going to lose, but I think it's going to be a good fight.
You know what? Also be a good fight. I'm surprised no one mentioned
who.
Brainiac.
Ooh.
There you are. The Terminator, right? If you think about it, it's a learning computer.
Right.
What's going to make you think that it's not going to learn the moves of other people?
That's why I mentioned Brainiac, because Brainiac is also designed to evolve as well.
Yeah.
Remember, his program is every time he goes to a certain location and assimilates all its data, he moves on. And he keeps adapting and keeps assimilating all information and all types of matter wherever he goes. So that's why I mentioned Brainiac. Brainiac will make it a very, very challenging fight. So I'm definitely going to go with that. Yeah, I definitely would go with Brainiac. I'm surprised no one's ever thought about that.
Never even heard of him.
You've never heard of Brainiac?
Brainiac is actually a very popular character.
Wow.
Look him
Craig,
up.
you got to read up on him, man.
But you get Greg a little slack because he's not big into this what's called pop culture like we are.
Oh, okay. Brainiac is one of those characters you really don't want to cross paths with. You really don't. That's the type of character Brainiac is. Wow. Who else? I'm thinking who else other than Brainiac. Who else would make an interesting fight? Cyborg, probably.
Cyborg's on the list.
Transformers.
Oh, okay.
Transformers.
That's another one. He actually is in 2020. Like I said, the T-800 the Transformers. It says the crossover was by IDW publisher and Dark Horse. When
I've heard of Dark Horse
and Cybertron collide, forcing the T-100 to team up with the Autobots against the Decepticons. Yeah. Oh, I can't pronounce it. Fuck off, dickhead.
I'm just trying to help so people can understand what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
I know
the T-800 teaming up with Optimus and the Autobots? Oh, that's...
But I think if he turned on them at some point, and he would turn.
And he would, yeah.
Yeah. He would turn because that's what he always does. The only time he doesn't turn when he's programmed to protect somebody else.
When he's programmed to protect John Connor.
Now, if I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in this conversation really fast.
Okay.
So let's say John Connor was the target.
What wasn't he originally? His mother was, though.
I didn't ever bring that up, did I? I didn't bring it up, did I? I said you're talking about the movies now. We're not talking about movies. We're talking about a what if scenario.
Targeted, wasn't they?
That was the movie again. Again, forget the movie. We're talking about if scenarios.
Okay, right? I'm listening. Hold on, Craig. Hold on. Give him a minute.
All right. So the scenarios. Let's say he John Connor is the target. Let's say Wolverine, Cyborg, whoever. Right? How would this be done? I think Doomsday will be the first one to be John Connor's. Go after John Connor. To be honest with you guys.
Oh, definitely.
Because everybody else here except Deadpool and Ultron, whatever his fucking name is. Ultron. I don't think Ultron will go after John Connor, personally. He's too weak for him.
Yeah.
He goes after technology, mostly.
Exactly.
And Deadpool, if the money's right.
The merc with a mouth.
But didn't Ultron actually try and destroy the world? Even though if it was technology or not. He was trying to destroy the world and get rid of the human vermin people.
That's what the technology about. He was going to wipe out the humanity to have technology run.
Okay.
Go ahead, Donna. You're thinking. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
That's a very interesting fight right there. That's a very interesting battle. That's an interesting battle right there.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Ooh, wee. Wow. That's a pick'em. That's a serious pick'em because someone like Wolverine does not quit. And someone like and Deadpool? Oh, come on now. Deadpool is like that's like trying to kill that sounds like trying to nuke a cockroach. He'll still find a way to get back up.
Unfortunately, Greg, Eric, I know you don't like hitting Deadpool, but Deadpool is a really good character. A very, very,
I
very
love
good character.
Deadpool. The guy is fucking hilarious.
Yo, Eric, seriously? Wow. He dislikes
I-
Deadpool that much, huh?
How the fuck don't you like Deadpool? He's funny, he's awesome, he's fast, his fighting techniques, because he used to be in the military. I don't know if he was in martial arts, I can't remember. But he's fucking brilliant.
Oh man, that
Very
is
witty
wild.
as well.
That is wild. I did not know Eric had a very strong dislike for Deadpool.
I think me and Eric might need to go to war. I love Deadpool. Eric, me and you are going to war.
You know, that's between the two of y'all. I'm staying out of this. I'm staying out the crossfire. That's between the two of y'all. Man,
I think you guys are going to duke it out, to be honest with you.
Oh God. Oh well, Wally's in the chat. Oh man. Wow.
And he has a good point. Megatron might have a good because
Magneto, yes. Turn to a soda can and that's it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
he is kind of correct.
There you go.
Magneto would rip him apart.
Yeah. Turn to a soda can, just go and that's it.
Yeah. So you Megatron,
Eric, you bastard.
Deadpool sucks and enemy.
Deadpool sucks the anal vapors of a dead bear's ass. Yo!
Me and you've got to have words, brother. Me and you've got to have words.
Oh my God! Yo, I like that one, Eric. Eric, I like that one. I'm gonna try that on somebody, all right? And I'm gonna let you know how it goes.
You may get knocked out for that one.
No, hey, if someone pisses me off just right, after I say something like that, to know how are they gonna respond?
The biggest Deadpool fan that I know of is my wife. She loves Deadpool. She'd
those are
be
fighting words
first in
now.
line with Eric. Hey?
Those are fighting words with your wife.
My wife would fucking disagree, the fucker. She's
Fight
the
words,
most biggest
exactly.
Deadpool fan that I know.
Oh my God, fight words exactly. Honestly, this would be a very interesting. It's like pick any character, Marvel, DC. But I like what Wally brought up. He said Magneto, case closed. That
No,
is very
I'm
interesting.
not disagreeing with him one
No,
bit.
you can't. You can't disagree with him. He has
Yeah,
a valid
and
point.
when I actually put this through my AI system, Magneto is nowhere near this.
Really? Magneto only have to fucking
He said,
his
Eric,
fucking fingers
Wally
and
said, Eric
the
said
Terminator
Deadpool
be
needs
crushed.
the lobotomy.
Peter. Really? Magneto just needs to click his fucking fingers and the Terminator
No, I'm not
be crushed.
disagreeing.
I'm not either. And that's actually an
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm just saying when I put this show through the AI system, Magneto wasn't part of the list, and I'm very
surprised Magneto was never
Then
mentioned.
the
in
AI
that list.
system's absolutely broken then, isn't it?
I'm surprised Magneto because you would have figured that's the first person. I didn't
Yeah, it would be
realize it
number
until
one.
while I brought it up. I was like, you know what? Damn,
Magneto wouldn't even have to fucking do anything. He just sits there in an armchair drinking a fucking beer,
And
having
the
a woman
worst, and
fucking
the
doing
even
things to him,
crazier
and fucking
part.
just fuck off Terminator, flick his fingers and he's crushed.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Magneto can do that to any version of the Terminator.
Yeah.
He can do that to all the models. The only one he might be able to do that to Marcus Wright. But I'm not sure if he would.
Who?
Oh,
Marcus Wright.
I'm wondering if they're going to bring out a newer Terminator movie.
A new what?
A new Terminator movie?
I would
absolutely.
really love to have another one. I really
Honestly,
would.
I think I'm done with them.
I enjoyed.
Honestly, they gotta come up with one more to
guys
just
may not like
end
it,
it.
but I actually enjoyed Dark Fate. I really did.
Really?
I did enjoy it.
Was that the last one?
Dark Fate.
Yeah, that was the one where they turned John into a Terminator.
No,
I thought that was Genesis.
No.
Oh, that was
no,
Genesis.
no,
That's
no,
right.
no.
That's right.
that was
No,
Genesis.
he's right.
Dark
Okay,
Fate.
so the order of the movies are Terminator, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machine. That was fucking a horrible movie.
Liked it.
Terminator Salvation, one of my favorite Terminator movies, to be honest with you.
That was very good. That was better than
That was the best one in my
Wasn't a fan of
opinion.
that one.
You hated that one?
I said I was. I didn't say I hated it. I said I wasn't a fan of it.
I think it was
What was
awesome.
wrong with Rise of the Machines? What was wrong? What didn't you like about Rise of the Machines, Peter?
cheesy. It was too cheesy for me.
Oh,
I found it kind of funny when he was slapped into the fucking picked up by that other machine that can control other machines, just fucking thrown.
But I
straight
do
across.
understand why they did it. It makes sense in Terminator's oil. Where I had issues. Let me finish the list first. I'm going to tell you where my
Okay.
issues with the Terminator
Okay.
movie are. Terminator Genesis.
Judgment Day.
Genesis,
No,
yeah.
No, that
Judgment-
Judgment Day was the second one.
Yeah. And Terminator Dark Fate. Okay, so here's my little nudge on these. All right. So I like Salvation. I really like that movie a lot.
Yeah,
I thought
Salvation
they
was
should
better.
Picked it up from where they're left off. I'm done with him going back in time, finding Terminator, going back in time, finding Terminator, going back in time. All
They
right,
screwed
enough
up
of time
timeline so
travel,
many times,
motherfuckers.
it's not worth it.
Yeah, and done for time travel. But let's get to the next two guys in here. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our president.
Oh fuck me! Ow, my forehead! I already got a fucking headache. Peter, you're a bastard, and Paul, you're a pain in my ass.
Let's go.
First of all, next time do that. Take your glasses off. I don't want you getting
You know what?
They're actually
For
chips in your eye and all that.
You know
kind
what?
of stuff.
Some are hopefully be
you know what,
blind.
guys? For kicks and giggles, one more time. All right, let's get the next guy in
You
here.
asshole, let me
Let's
break
get
my bearing.
our man Wally in here.
Wiley, Sakafe.
Wally.
Wiley,
All right.
come on here.
Now that mutiny's done with,
As long as
Yeah,
I have
as
the
long as I
controls, that's gonna
Come
be a
on
thing.
here.
yeah, as long as I live, I just don't care.
Do you know the story of the
That's fine.
Terminator, the Dark Fate, which basically was the story of the government could not leave it alone, so they created the newer Terminators in Dark Fate. That was the story of it.
That's fine, but hang on. I really think the Terminator saga should have picked up after Salvation,
Yeah,
not Genesis, not Dark Fate, or none of that other shit.
honestly,
Go ahead.
if they would have picked up after Salvation, you could have changed some other aspects of it, but at the
point.
same time, because of the fact that the Terminators were able to use someone like Marcus Wright to infiltrate the Resistance, something no one ever thought of, it's very smart and very creative. How they came up with that idea, who knows? But I think that right there could have helped set the precedent of which direction the Resistance was going to go, fighting against the machines. And I think if they would have did that, you still would have had the ongoing fight, but eventually you would have saw it eventually come to an end at the same time. I think that's if they do another Terminator movie, they got to finish it. Like, it's got to end after that. Like,
I
no
agree.
more going back, because you screwed up the timeline too many times already.
I'm just sick and tired of seeing go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's what it is right now with these movies.
And Eric is right. The Sarah Connor Chronicles were, but I can see why he felt it was a bit of a train wreck. I can feel why
everyone would have been attracted with that fucking Terminator woman. Come on, she was attractive.
You talking about the Terminatrix?
Terminator woman in
The Terminatrix in Rise of the Machines?
no, in Sarah Connor.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. That one. That's right. I know what you're talking about.
All right, let's get these guys in here. All right, Paul. The conversation is which superhero could beat the Terminator, destroy him, whatever.
Beat the Terminator. Okay, I saw the title and I was like, I wasn't sure.
Hero,
personally-
villain, anti-hero,
I
whomever.
personally
Anyone
believe-
Oh well,
involved with DC.
Magneto.
I personally believe that Paul, if he was a
Magneto. That's not
Terminator
even a
killer-
fight right there. I mean, that's
No,
If
I mean,
Paul
that's-
was meant
that's
to be the
literally,
Terminator killer, he could just fart and it'll
Say
blow
again?
it up.
Greg, shut up.
Who? Oh,
Go ahead,
wow.
Paul.
now I'm just saying Magneto is probably the easiest. It wouldn't be close. But mind you, I mean the Terminators aren't that. They're not that formidable. In my view, I mean, certainly when you talk about conventional weapons and whatnot, bullets, yeah, but I mean, a pipe bomb basically, explode on a Terminator in half. So you don't even need the best weaponry to defeat. What I'd be more worried about is if they do like the Predators did and do that nuclear option and just, you know what, screw it. So I'd be more concerned about the damage that one of those guys can do if they took, and most Terminators have 2 of those cell processors that basically are nuclear weapons in and of themselves. So if you take one out, make sure you do it in a way that doesn't, blow everything else up. So I would go, so definitely, Magneto, I think would certainly be able to, take one out. I think any of the heavies, Hulk, who's the X-Men, who's the metal metallic X-Men, the mutant,
Colossus.
Wolverine.
Colossus. Yeah, I think any of the heavies, I think they take out Terminators very easily because Terminators basically use. I mean, yeah, you got phased plasma rifles with the 40-watt range, but generally they're essentially laser guns or conventional weapons. So I don't think it's going to take a lot, but I think Magneto ends everybody, and it doesn't matter which version of Terminator. If you want to go to the T-1000, I think Magneto he treats the T-1000 like that scene in, I forget what X-Men it was, where Magneto is in this prison and he breaks out and he takes these 3 pieces of metal and he starts spinning them around and he makes them into these weapons. That's what I think what he would do to a T-1000. He would literally break them up into little weapons and he would just shoot them around to take out the other Terminators with.
Oh, I think you're talking about X2 when
He's in the plastic
Mystique,
prison.
injected the prison guard with
Iron.
high iron in his
Yeah,
blood.
so he pulls it out and then he spins it, turns them into
the
these
balls.
bullets that just spin around him and he just takes out everybody. I think it'd be the same thing. I think he would literally use a T-1000 and take out any other T-800 or 9, whatever the metal versions of the Terminator, or even the you said the Terminatrix. I think he would take her out as well. I just think that would be the easiest one to take out. And like anybody else, I mean, certainly they're tough. I mean, I think Captain America, whatever, I think he would have a difficult time as far as, just the strength thing of it. But again, I haven't seen a Terminator that's very fast. Like most of the ones that I've seen, they're relatively. I'm in terms of quickness, I should say.
T-1000.
I've never. What's that?
The T-1000. Remember Robert Patrick? Just what a straight face. Not that easy.
He could run in a straight line. But I'm talking about quickness, though, like in terms of like reflexes to, ward off an attack. And again, I'm going because obviously you had the T-600s that were in Terminator Salvation. I mean, those were like the
bulky
definitely
ones.
Cruder, more robotic-y type
very
of.
bulky.
I think those get taken out. T-800 may be a little bit more of a challenge, but I haven't seen them where they're like super fast. If you had a really fast, like a Captain America or Black Panther, I don't know if they would pose necessarily that much of a threat, certainly to them. And because they are electronic, I mean, could Storm take them out? I mean, just overload them with electricity or something. So I look at them more so in as far as like their numbers could certainly overcome a lot of different people or even a lot of different heroes or whatnot. But like I said, Magneto, and it's a wrap. I mean, but even someone like even Ant-Man, right? I mean, he can literally go in there and he can just pull a couple of get under your skin and pull a couple of circuits out or whatnot, and that can be a wrap also. So I mean, I think certainly there's a lot of Marvel's heroes for sure that can certainly go in there and do the job. But if you have the power to manipulate metal, if you have the power to manipulate lightning, obviously Thor, I mean, forget it, Mjolnir or Stormbreaker would just lay waste to them. I mean, I like I said, I don't look at them, certainly if you want to talk about superheroes, I don't see them giving up much of a fight. They're not the Sentinels, right? That have that ability to adapt and all that other kind of stuff. I don't think it would be much of a contest for a conventional a hero, a typical Avenger, with the exception of Hawkeye and Black Widow. Then that would be a problem. I don't think you take someone on a human level skill set. I don't think you're taking a Terminator out, at least not with hand-to-hand combat. Now, if you got a weapon powerful enough, yeah, you got a a very powerful gun or rocket launcher or something. Yeah, I think.
Well, let me ask you a question. What about Cyclops? You think he had a good chance of beating him?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, like I said, or Havoc. Now Beast, I don't know I don't think Beast could do it though.
No,
Beast, I think that would be, I mean, that would be daunting. But if you got like some sort of energy weapon, Wolverine, I mean, they're made out of, I guess, maybe some sort of steel or titanium. I think adamantium claws, I certainly could certainly do it. Yeah, it could do certainly enough damage in that regard. So quite a number. And I only want to think about like Jean Grey or whatnot. But
I don't think Jean Grey had a chance, to be honest with you, Paul.
Well, as the Phoenix, yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Well,
but at the same time, Professor X, I don't think they don't have conscience, right? So I don't think, has Professor X ever had control over machines?
Not really.
No, I don't think so.
Oh wow!
He can't, because his abilities are for humans.
T-800, no question. Wow.
I don't. With what? Like I said, if you give her some serious firepower that could, like I said, a rocket launcher, something that could, that could do some damage. But I mean, I can't see it. Not,
Another two that we mentioned, and then I'm gonna give the floor to Wally, is Rogue, definitely with her superhuman strength,
right,
and Gambit.
That's right.
Think about it.
Again, another energy
projectile. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's give the floor. Hang on, Greg. Let's give the floor to Wally and let his opinion on himself. Wally, you're up, man.
So other than my previous statement, because actually I'm the one that said Magneto first.
I disagree.
I'm gonna take this off. Well, pretty much I'm gonna take this off the table real quick, because which version of the Terminator are we talking about here?
I was going off the. Oh man, what movie is that from? The first movie.
So a T-800.
Yes, thank you.
So that's the T-800 Terminator we're talking about.
Correct.
Then yeah, then my statement still stands. Okay, that's what I wanted to know, because it's not very clear when you just say Terminator, and knowing there's multiple versions of the Terminator.
Oh, you're right. I should be more specific. I'm not disagreeing one bit on that.
Because to this point, to drive back a little bit of the talking point that Paul said earlier, Magneto doesn't clear all versions of the Terminator. He clears a majority of them, but not all.
Which one? That he would
right now. Hold on. Because technically, some of the Terminators are actually liquidated, liquid metal formations. And if you understand the same thing within the X-Men, once the Sentinels got a piece of the genetical genes of Mystique's, technically they're somewhat, I think there's someone in the same byproduct of that. So yeah, the version I'm talking about is actually T-1000. It actually would be a little bit more of a difficult match. That one, and what else is there that they said that's actually would be?
I'm saying, but why?
I just said it.
Given the example,
the liquid metal psychological. That interaction is because the interaction, it becomes a little bit more interesting because of the simple fact of the material he has. So technically, Magneto would not really be able to deal with that per se. I'm gonna do a little bit more digging, but personally, he wouldn't be able to. It would just be a little bit more of an interesting matchup.
Yeah, like I said, that scene from X2. I mean, again, that iron that was injected into that soldier. I mean, that was liquid,
right? That
he turned into a solid and made them into projectiles. So I think he could do the same thing. He could literally take and reformat or reconstitute those liquid mimetic alloys.
No, it wouldn't work like that. Because again, the liquid metal, it's able to shapeshift and regenerate. So in this case, even if Magneto were to do something for the temporary time, it wouldn't really overall do anything to the point where that couldn't just refixture itself. That's what I'm saying. That in more cases than not, it's not going to just be smooth sailing. That's what I'm saying. It's not a smooth self argument per se.
Anybody else?
What else? Hold on. Like I said, the T1000. Again, I'm not saying that this is a clear. I'm just saying it's just a more of an interesting detail conversation of the ideal fight. And then of course they also said the T3000. The other one was also the Rev 9 because of the simple fact that the two body simulate symmetry. Yeah. No, not
Symmetry.
No, not symmetry. Simultaneously. Yeah, simultaneously. That's what I'm saying. Sorry. But those are pretty much the interesting layouts as far as just those three, as far as I know for sure, as far as what I took in. But yeah, but since you're talking about the T800, that's pretty much clear. I mean, other than that, since technically you're also talking about superheroes, though, technically I can't use Magneto because Magneto is anti-hero. But even then, if we're standing on superhero, I'm gonna just close this out by saying Vision. Again, end of discussion.
Wow.
Actually, you almost read my mind, Wally, because I was thinking about what if there was a reality. Because the one thing I did like about what was the T3 Rise of the Machines was when they said that Skynet was essentially software. Like everybody was thinking that there was a central computer, and they call it software. So what if Skynet was able to create to put its consciousness into a body like Vision, like the ultimate body or whatever that they were trying to do from Avengers Ultron? If he had like an Ultron type body, but you were able to put Skynet's consciousness into that, I'm just curious how that would have worked. That'd be
look at Ultron.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the main thing. But even then, even with Ultron, nothing but scrap metal for most cases. Same thing. I think
well, he never got Vision's body, right? I mean, he got.
Well, yeah. I mean, granted, the only difference with Vision's body is because of the simple fact that he's able to phase and everything else, but still metal, still be crushed. Don't make the difference. Magneto's still crushed him. Magneto's still crushed him. If you want to talk about like who can pose a threat, so even if he had Vision's body, yeah, he would be more and more dangerous overall.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he had the stone from the sentiments of the movies, yeah, he'll be more dangerous. You still get scrap metaled by Magneto. So it don't matter. And I think what the DZ variant version of them is like Mr.
Terrific.
No, I was talking about Mr. Terrific. I was talking about
Tornado?
No, not that either. The DC version of Magneto, which is supposed to, I think it's supposed to be Mr. I forgot his name. It's Mr. M. It's something starts with an M. I think it's something with metal in his name. Metal something. I forgot his name.
I gotta look him up. Hold up.
If it's not DC, then it's some other comic that I remember. But pretty much it's the same ordeal. It's like same type of magnetism, everything else like that, and all of this. But yeah, same thing. That person. Well, again, I don't even know. Well, technically, he's not a hero either. Well, he's not a hero either. But either which way, I'm just speaking in the sense of just characters at this point.
Hold on, give me a minute. I'll look it up for you.
But either which way, yeah. I mean, this is a dog walk. So I'm just gonna play that. I just wanted to make sure, like, on clarity, which one we're talking about. But other than that, yeah, I'm out.
All right.
Have fun.
What about someone like, say, if you did want to go to the human level? Because, like I said, I don't think Black Widow could necessarily compete unless she had a weapon. But folks who are known by their weaponry, so like someone like the Punisher, I think
Green Arrow too.
Depends on the weapons that he has. Yeah,
Wally, I found the character you were talking about from DC, Dr. Polaris.
That's the one with the magnetism?
Yep, that's the one that has a direct. That's the one that's the direct equivalent to Magneto.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I was wrong about the letter then. But so you're saying I don't?
No, I'm just wondering, like someone like the Punisher. That would be interesting because again, he's so good with weapons, or he would find
good with weapons. But how you gonna deal with that? How you gonna deal with that body? Your bullets ain't gonna solve nothing.
I'm saying, but well, again,
Claymore.
I mean, if
he
you
can
want
get
to talk
grenade
about,
launchers. He can get, I think, a lot of, you know, again,
I mean,
I
I
just
guess
think
I'm
that the
thinking, I'm guess I'm thinking to the idea. Okay, if we're talking about T800, because I really don't know. Like, I mean, like he's straight up metal, right? To some
Yeah.
degree. Like,
yeah.
The T800 is the one from Arnold Schwarzenegger was. That's his model.
Well, he was actually two models.
From the
He was
Matrix
850
is
in
a
Rise of
Skynet.
Machines.
He was the
Where they
850
need
also?
to produce a
Yeah. Because
That's
because
right.
they were programmed. I guess he had a software upgrade that made him more what do you call it, empathetic to humans or something like that, or he could
Right,
diagnose
right,
psychological issues
right.
at times. He was a
Well,
nice determinant.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I'm gonna say it like this: as far as humans, if you're talking about the top humans that can deal with Terminator,
My wife said Lex Luthor.
I'll go with Batman. Oh yeah, Lex Luthor. Yeah, that's clear. Yeah, that's obvious.
My wife said Lex Luthor. I can see Batman also. Batman has to play
I mean,
for
if we're speaking
everything.
about heroes, yeah. If you're just speaking, well, yeah. If you're speaking villains, then yeah, Lex Luthor. Who else would I say?
The
Oh
Joker.
yeah. Well, no, that no. You're talking about the Terminator. He don't give a fuck.
I'm BSing. I'm just throwing the name out there, but yeah, I can see Batman. I can definitely see Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is.
Oh, matter of fact, you know what? There's another one from Marvel. Since we're technically now speaking on scientists, Mr. Fantastic more likely will figure that out. I mean, granted, he's not fully human, so technically, but even then, the fact that he don't have really other than powers other than stretching and everything, but as far as at a scientific level, he's beating him.
Okay.
He cracks that.
Mm.
But with that said, yeah, I'm out. I think this is a straightforward, conversation of done deal. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I got fun with this.
Any of these characters will make an interesting fight. A lot of these characters will make an interesting fight.
But again, and are we also talking about just 1-to-1? Or are we talking about like an army of
The fight is gonna be
that,
one-on-one.
to me, that was the best
One-on-one?
part of, I think, Terminator 2 was the opening scene. To me, that's one of the best openings in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so you saw like they were all over. And again, also, if you want to consider, are the flying, the HKs, are they considered Terminators as well?
They are.
Right. So the flying,
The HKs, the Moto Terminators.
Yeah. So, so again, are you talking about going against that arsenal, or are you talking about almost like a stealthy 1-to-1, like a Terminator's trying to hunt down Batman or something? I mean,
Yeah, one-on-one.
Okay.
No, hey, coffee shop. If you know any other characters outside of Marvel and DC, you can put their names out there too. It would be interesting to hear.
I just jumped the link. Let me get the rules up.
I like what Eric had to say. Hulk smash puny robots.
So anyone wants to come up? Our rules are very simple, guys. No personal attack, insult, threats, offensive language to each other. We can break balls, but let's keep it, respect for each other, racist and all that nice jazz. If you do decide to come up, please follow my rules. No smoking on camera, no eating on camera, dress appropriately, camera must be on, and mic must be on. The link is in the chat, guys. So I think the fight should be one-on-one. Simple as that.
Mm.
It shouldn't be like 5 Terminators versus 20 Avengers. None. One-on-one, the best wins. Obviously, Magneto is going to overpower him. I didn't think of that. I'll be straight up with you guys. Like, when I put this through the AI, that didn't even pop in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess the thing is, I mean, Magneto is, he is human.
Right.
So he can get like hit with a bullet. I mean, if you shot Magneto, that would take him out, right? I mean, unless he knew the bullet was come, he could certainly repel them or put like a field around himself so that the bullets can't touch him. But he would have to kind of know that ahead of time.
Absolutely.
I think right. So a Terminator who's acting stealthily, unless Magneto can sense metal. Now that he can.
Yeah, that's from I remember at least.
Yeah,
I don't recall seeing that, but I mean, if he could sense like a presence around him that was metallic.
Think about it, Paul. X2, when that guy, President Guard brought him his food, and he goes like, "Something's different about you today." He goes, "Yeah, I was in a good mood to start talking to me. No, you have a high iron in tank."
That's right.
He sensed it.
Mhm.
He
did.
has an ability to sense
Well,
all
did he
different
sense
types
it,
of
or
metals.
the guy was injected, right? So was that like a plant? Like that was set up though. He didn't just say,
Or-
like he didn't just take the guy's natural iron out of his blood.
No,
That was an implanted, and that was like an escape thing. I don't know who I don't recall who did the injection, but that was like a
Mystique.
planned escape
That was
thing. Yeah, I'm
Mystique,
in
yeah.
here, but you know,
But Mystique has never gotten a hold of him. Says like, "Yo, hang on, yo, Menigo, my man, I'm gonna bring this guy in there for you." No, it wasn't nothing like that because she couldn't go in near that place. They would catch her.
yeah,
So he injected her. She injected him, and she knew he was gonna sense it.
sense.
But also-
Yeah, that's possible.
and I think people forget when you go back to the story of X-Men First Class, Magneto and Mystique already knew each other. Remember, they already had an understanding and knew each other for a period of time.
Yeah,
So that's, I think, the basis of she knew what to do already. Probably because of the fact that if you think about it, X-Men First Class takes place what? Early to mid 60s?
Yeah,
And then X-Men and X2 are what? Late 90s, early
90s,
2000s?
yeah.
So they've known each other already for a better part of what? Almost 40 years? They already have an establishment and already have that type of relationship with one another where they know each other. So she already knew what she had to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. I can certainly see that. So yeah, if you're not gonna sneak up on them, but I mean, obviously, Terminators are very good at stealth, and they're also good at tracking. I mean, that's the thing. They're tracking. They do voice manipulate. I mean, unless you know for sure what you're dealing with. I mean, they're supposed to pass as humans. There's a bad breath and sweat and all those things. How would you even know that there was one unless you can actually somehow detect that they are one?
Hence
The
why
only
they
thing
always
I would
had
say
dogs
is
too,
that-
remember?
What's that?
Hence why they're all members of the Resistance and why John Connor was told to have a dog.
Have dogs?
Because
Yeah,
the dog can sniff them out automatically. And then
Yeah.
also you think about it in the second movie when the T-800 is with John, the T-1000 is at his foster parents' house. And they're playing those games
Yeah.
with each other, like throwing off the voices and everything else.
right.
And then, of course, that's when the T-800 asked John, what's your
Right.
dog's name? Max. Hey, what's wrong with Wolfie?
Yeah.
Wolfie's fine. When are you coming home? That's how the Terminator knew your foster
Your
parents
foster
are dead.
parents are dead.
And ironically, I found out James Cameron, that line was thrown in there because James Cameron did have a German Shepherd at the time, and the dog's name was Beowulf. And he would call him
get the
Wolf.
fuck out of here.
Seriously.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a German Shepherd named Beowulf, called the dog Wolfie, and he found a way to get that line put in the movie.
I guess the only thing I think to the disadvantage of the Terminators as well. Now again, I only know of the ones. I don't think I've seen every franchise or property. Terminators aren't particularly. They don't blend very well,
No.
personality wise.
No.
They're kind of stoic. They kind of talk when talked to. They're
Mhm.
like, you like your clothes, give them to me now. I mean, it's like very
your clothes, your bike, your weapons, give it to me.
your
Give it to me
motorcycle.
now.
Yeah, so it's like so it's kind of like a robot. It's not. They don't possess naturally conversational or even human expression.
Right.
Like remember, there was a deleted scene from T2 that if you watch on the extra deleted scenes where the Terminator tries to smile.
Oh,
he's
yes.
So he looks at the guy and Arnold goes,
That wasn't in the deleted scenes. That was actually on the actual original movie where at the gas station.
"No, I don't think so. I think it was
No, that was Terminator 3. That was Rise of the Machines.
Terminator 2. No, T2. They're at the
No,
gas
it was in
station, they're
T2,
trying to
but
get away
I don't
from
think
the
that was
city.
in the finished cut. I think that
What,
was
the
the
gas
deleted
station?
scene.
It was the only part of that movie that was not actually in the original movie was the fact that when they were sitting inside the actual machine room, whatever it was, and they cut open his head and took out the chip.
Yeah,
That was the only part that wasn't in it. But the
right.
smiling
Because
part
Sarah was thinking about maybe I should just
It
end
was.
this now, whatever. Yeah. But
don't
yeah, I
remember
mean that's the
the
thing, that
original.
their personalities would certainly give a lot away in terms of their ability to be detected. And certainly, I think people would say, look, there's something, especially if it's a superhero or something like that, they would probably sense that there's something different about this guy or whatever, that at least the guard would be up. They wouldn't just, but they don't know how to naturally blend into everything. But I think certainly the world that they come from. Now think about it. I mean, you got humanity's basically wiped out.
Mhm.
So I don't see a lot of happy smiling faces in that time or whatever. So maybe that kind of stoic kind of look probably blended in with the time how everybody was feeling at the time.
Honestly, the one Terminator actually blended in was the one in Salvation, Marcus Wright. Remember, you used an actual human and gave him the skeletal system of a Terminator. He still had his brain, he still had his heart, he still had his memories.
But
still
that's
had
not technically a cyborg is an android at that point.
He was but the thing is, he thought he was still alive, even though he was deleted. And then, of course, they didn't realize, like, the part when he's with what's her name, Raven, Moon Bloodgood, and she's like, "Wow, you got a very strong heart." And then you find out after they go into the minefield and they bring him in and they cut him open, they're like, human body and metal skeleton.
Well, if you remember in the first part of that movie of Salvation, he was in prison. He was sentenced to death.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And literally, this was like 40 years before, or 40, 50, 60 years before the Terminator even came out. And they literally just scanned his brain, and that was it. Really.
That's right. Because the thing is, he was donating his body to science. Helen Bonham Carter was the person that represented Cyberdyne.
Yep.
And when he saw, and then it was like he knew she was dying too. And then they had that part where he kisses her, and was like, "So that's what death tastes like." And then he signed his name on he put his John Hancock in that contract real quick. And then when you saw and then you look at the paperwork and you saw the head sheet, you're like, Cyberdyne.
I personally think he had a human brain. Personally, they took his brain out of his body and put it on ice for many years.
But he still had all his memories.
Yeah, that's what I said. Human brain.
Yeah. So in other words, you think they put his brain back in? Because think about it. When he was in LA and he ran into Kyle Reese and they hotwired that Jeep, the first song the thing you heard that came on the radio was Rooster by Alice Cooper. And you just saw him just stand there with that. I remember this song and it brings it back. You know the song? Yeah. It makes me think about somebody I knew a long time ago. A machine wouldn't have that. Mm-hmm. A machine would just hear the music and say, "Okay, Rooster by Alice Cooper."
No, I agree with Anton and Greg. Like, he has memories. Froze his brain, virtual reality, whatever they did to him. They kept him alive for so many years, and they, whatever put him in a machine did it for a reason. Go ahead, Anton.
I think they kept him offline because if you remember the part when John and the team go to, I think it was Christian Bale, Michael Rooker, and a couple other people, they went to that secret location and they went down to the catacombs and you saw the morgue room. If you look quick enough, you can see Marcus Wright on the table. And then after everything happened, they did the strafe run and everything leveled, all of a sudden you see him coming out of that same hole covered in mud from the rain. Yeah. So I'm guessing he must have been turned off ever since he was, the state of California did their job. And I'm guessing that moment, Skynet flipped the switch to turn him back on. And he made and they made him feel like he was just taking a nap. A very, very
isn't
long
Skynet
nap.
like a hive mind?
And I think you saw that in Genesis too.
Yeah.
They made that look like it was literally Skynet was literally a hive mind.
No. You saw the hive mind in Salvation. You saw that in Salvation. Skynet was controlling every single bot.
That's right. Because Salvation. that's when Marcus was to San Francisco and found out he was a Terminator.
Yeah.
And they were like, we could do anything we want. We could make you look like anyone. We could sound like anybody. And then you saw the computer screen. First, Helen Bonham Carter's character. Then, Alex, what's his name? Anton Yelchin.
They wanted they wanted a bot that wasn't a drone. They wanted someone who's individual, independent.
Coming like a lone wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like a reconnaissance scout.
Yeah.
And Marcus was the perfect scout.
Yeah. You guys were talking about, obviously, it seemed like the Terminator franchise might have gone on too long.
I agree. Yeah.
How would you have liked to have seen it end? I didn't mind Rise of the Machines. I mean, if you're gonna say
that's two of us. That's two of us. Actually, Peter doesn't like that.
What's that?
Peter didn't
I'm not
like
a big
the third
fan.
Terminator.
I get it, but are we? If the whole, I thought the whole idea of the franchise, at least what I got certainly by Salvation, is that Skynet was inevitable.
That's what they said
matter
in the
how
third
many
one.
Terminators you kill, or you thought you took out the central computer or whatever, that it was inevitable. The same thing was in Genesis as well. It was inevitable.
It was inevitable, and
that this was going to happen.
And John, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Paul, but he also said it in the third one. You only just delayed it, because John was telling him, "No, we stopped Skynet, so on and so forth."
Right.
And he says, "You didn't stop it. You only delayed it. Judgment Day is inevitable. No matter what you do, it's going to happen."
Here's one for you. If you think about it, and you, Peter, I know you don't like the third one, but if you think about it, Salvation was actually a carry-on from the third one. Yeah? The Terminator in the third one took John Connor and
Sarah Brewster.
Yeah. And put them to hide in this fucking bunker that's probably been there since the 1920s.
Right.
60s, I think.
So that they would
60s,
say,
60s,
stay alive. So it's a carry-on. The Salvation was a carry-on from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a natural. Yeah, it was a natural. Right. Yeah. So we could have ended it at Salvation, and that would have been like put the bow on it.
Right.
And if you want to do more stories, and I'm surprised they don't do more of those now, do more stories within the 2029 timeline, right? Do more in the future of humans trying to survive, instead of having, I know you had the Sarah Connor Chronicles, but what about the John Connor Chronicles within that world? I mean, so obviously he becomes this leader, and it's like every week, like it's almost like if you want to have it like a serial, it's like you're constantly thwarting the plans until you get to Genesis, where the first T-800s come off the assembly line and they're going into the past and whatnot. I mean, that could, if you want to sort of keep the loop going, but you could have milked a lot out of that futuristic kind of dystopian future.
Honestly,
I think you could have had a lot of stories out of that, but they never. And I don't know. I think it would have been expensive to make. I mean, because again, to have sets like that and to build that world and have it go on a weekly basis, that's certainly a very expensive show. But I think that should have been the direction that they went in. Go into the world where, again, humanity's trying to go on. You could explore relationships. I mean, do people get married? Do they
still have families?
Obviously, kids are being born. People doing something.
Yeah,
they find a way to pass the time.
Honestly,
but could you explore some of those stories instead of constantly looping it back to the
1984
to the current time, and you think it's done. But yeah, I think if they would have finished after Salvation, I think that would have been a nice bow to put on it. Then maybe have some sort of serial TV show that would have went in up until the first Terminator came out. I think that would have been a nice way to keep it going.
Yeah.
But like anything else, they try to milk, get every drop out of it. So
they couldn't do the live action, do an animated something, and have it tie in with the storyline as well. That probably would have been a whole lot better, because trying to get sets and trying to make everything look realistic, it would have been difficult and a challenge and expensive, like you said. But if you did something animated, like like what they did, like what Disney Plus did with a lot of the Star Wars. You could have found a way to still do the continuation of the stories without having to break the bank in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think having Salvation be the last movie would have worked perfect because you saw them lay the foundation to basically what happened to eventually they have victory. Also, if anyone ever realized and paid attention to it, that was that was the final movie Stan Winston was still involved with the movie before he passed away. He's the man that designed the skeleton for the Terminator. He designed everything, the skull, the skeleton, the look. He did all that. And I think that would have been a great way to pay tribute to him as well.
Yeah.
And there's also a or if you want to take out even more, now I know Rise of the Machines, they summarize it, which I wish they wouldn't have done. But in the beginning of the movie, similar to what happened in the original Terminator, John declares like, we won. We smashed your defense grid.
Right.
So it was like sending the Terminators was like, that was like the last ditch. They were beaten. The only chance they had left was to go back in the time
and send
the Terminators. But that would have been epic. Like how that all kind of, because Salvation, it was like we thought we beat them, but we didn't. And the guys who were hanging around the submarine and whatnot, they got taken out.
Yeah.
So it really, you really thought at this time, it's like, how do they overcome this, or how is John gonna recover from this when major factions in his defense
resistance are taking him serious.
Yeah. So that would have been a story worth like, what was that ultimate victory? How did they take out Skynet? Since Skynet seems to be very elusive, you thought it was a central computer. It's not. It's software. It's living. It's basically like an AI type of thing at this point. So how do you go about that? Yeah. I thought they could have had a lot of did a lot more in that futuristic world, whether it be through a movie or through like a weekly serial. But again, maybe they're taking out this the mid 90s, early 2000s. Maybe the state of the CGI, or like I said, even to produce it, it would have been too expensive because that T-1000 at the time, it was so revolutionary. At the time, like when you saw it for the first time, people were like, "What the heck is this?" Even though it was done, I forget the movie. It was done in the prior film. I can't remember the name of the film it was done in, where they started working with that manipulation and stuff with the CGI. But it was definitely a it was definitely a breakthrough, and I thought that I thought they really maximized it for all it's worth.
Well, they did defeat Skynet in Genesis because Genesis was Skynet. Yeah.
Okay.
That was literally the baby of Skynet. And you saw it. They destroyed it. And then Dark Fate came on because they wouldn't leave it alone. And then the original Terminators, when they did destroy, actually wiped out John Connor in the Skynet.
No, Eric, you actually made a valid point. I didn't mean to cut you off, Craig, but no, Eric, you made a valid point with that statement. Sarah Connor Chronicles was very successful story arc beyond T2 and on the move beyond Terminator 2. Honestly, Rise of the Machines was Salvation I actually liked because at least you got to see John Connor where he wasn't this great leader. You saw him at the bottom working his way up the ranks. Because you always hear the stories of his great leader. He's a legend. He's a myth. He's a god. He's this, he's that. But you don't see him when he's starting at the bottom and working his way up. Salvation basically shows he's working his way up. And then when you see the scene when he goes into the Pacific and he's inside the submarine, Michael Ironside, the quintessential badass. I got to give him that.
Yeah.
Can I throw a monkey wrench?
John Connor, leader of the resistance. Why the hell are you here?
Yeah. Do you think they would have been better off? I think Christian Bale obviously is, great actor and whatnot. I didn't love the guy who played John Connor in Rise of the Machines. But do you think that just as you had Sarah was a constant, just like you had obviously Arnold as a constant. Do you think they should have made defined the John Connor as a constant? Like the fact that you went to Bale, I think it was like an improvement. Or if anything, or could he have been? Could he have been John Connor in Rise of the Machines? I think you lost something when you had
Eddie
these
Furlong
different
in the
guys
second
playing
one.
John. And in Genesis, there was a different John Connor, right? So it's like
Right.
you have all these different people playing this guy who's crucial to the whole thing. He's the reason why, he sent Reese. He's the reason why they won. But they never were able to zero in on an iconic guy to play John Connor. And I think that took something also away from the continuity because you were just dealing with another guy every movie.
I think the thing was, Eddie Furlong. I think they probably was hoping it was going to be Eddie Furlong, but at the time when he was doing Judgment Day, he was still a kid and he was actually going through puberty at the time. Because if you notice during times when he was filming, you heard a little bit of a high voice, and then you heard a little bit of a bass voice at the same time. Plus, also the fact that he was still a kid, there were certain times where they couldn't use him in certain scenes. I also found out, ironically, in the second movie, when they did the scene when Linda Hamilton is getting stitched up by the Terminator, and as well as the mirror scene when they're taking the chip out, that deleted scene that Craig was talking about, it wasn't an actual mirror. Linda Hamilton was on one side, her twin sister was on the other side. Because they couldn't get a mirror and couldn't get that shot perfect. So what they did was they had Linda Hamilton on one side doing the scene, and her twin sister was doing the same thing in the polar opposite direction. But
is there a reason why Eddie? Well, first of all, I don't know Eddie. From what I understand, he didn't. His career kind of fell off. And I don't think he grew into a heroic. To play kind of like the bratty 10, 12-year-old kid is one thing, but did he? Because again, there was 12 years between 2 and 3.
Right.
So he certainly grew into a man. I mean,
Right.
he could have. I mean, age-wise.
But
he very well could have played him, but
it
Eddie
was hard
Furlong,
for him to get anything else after that.
I'm saying, but he's not very tall.
No, and
he's not muscular. He's not Eddie Furlong as an adult. You just look at his adult pictures. He's not a heroic. Oh yeah, that's John Connor kind of guy. Like I said, I didn't even love the guy who played him in Terminator 3. I thought Christian Bale was perfect as John Connor. If they could have kept, if you want to talk about him as an adult, he should have been, I thought, the guy to do it. But again, there's 6 years between, the 6 years between 3 and 4, or Terminator 3 and Salvation. But I just think, again, I thought they really should have decided on a guy. And Furlong, I certainly agree why you couldn't make him John Connor as an adult. I mean, he's like 5'6" or something like that.
Yeah, he didn't grow into.
He didn't grow into that man body.
Nah, he didn't grow in, and he was getting into some trouble and everything else too.
Yeah.
And even though Terminator 2 was done in 91, came out I think in 91.
Yeah.
It was actually supposed to take place I think around 93, 94. It was supposed to take place at least a few years later than when the movie originally came out. The movie came out in 91, and they said it was supposed to take place, I think, around 93 or 94.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be at least a couple of years ahead.
Yeah, still within the
still within the time parameters.
But you even saw it because I don't even remember. Remember the scenes like in the police car?
Yeah.
Where he goes in and he's typing it. Like, I didn't think police cars had computers like that in 91.
No.
So they kind of gave you a little bit of the future that he was in the car. Now they all got the stuff, right?
Right.
But I'm saying back then, for him to go in and type that stuff into a computer in the police car,
right,
and bring it up, like, and I'm in IT, and I'm thinking, wow, that's
supposed to be.
That's
supposed to be seen
future.
as
it's
the future.
You can see it, but I thought that's kind of futuristic. That's kind of, it's in the present, but a few years, maybe 5-6 years into the future. You even went to like the Cyberdyne building, right?
Right.
And you saw like the rooms where they were locking away the chips and the parts and everything.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, it had a presence, but again, a few years ahead. It wasn't. In fact, it might have been 90. Was it 97? I think it was supposed to be 1996, 1997.
Around that time period, as far as I
in the
remember.
movie
They said it
arc,
was supposed
yeah.
to take. They said it was supposed to take place sometime later, even though the movie came out in 91. They said it was supposed to take place sometime later because if we remember, the first movie took place in 80. I think came out in 84 and took place in 84. And if John Connor's supposed to be 12 years old, so he was born what year? Probably what, 85 maybe? 84, 85? So if he's supposed to be 12,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be
It's 1995. So Terminator 2 takes place in 1995. John Connor's 10. He's born in 84. Yeah. So 1995. And then, like I said, you could see those little illusions because, like I said, I do not remember cop cars having full computers and keyboards in there where you can type in information and pull up all this stuff on somebody at that time. So again, I like the little subtleties they did there with
the concept of what the future may be like.
Yeah,
and also
like a couple years from now.
And also think about it. In 91, I don't think there were ATM machines.
No, well, we still had, most people had beepers back then.
Right.
I don't even, cell phones really didn't get big until 93, 94.
Right.
But 91, most people had beepers. I mean, it wasn't,
Or if they had those cell phones, they had the ones with the big old pack and everything else.
Computers and police cars, they came in between 1970s and 1980s. Actually, no, it's 1979.
What in police cars? Computers?
Yeah.
Really?
I just looked it up.
Oh, wow.
But they had to be integrated into networks, right? So what was the satellite situation? Because again, in the movie, he typed up the name and the whole rap sheet came out on John. You're not storing that locally. There's got to be some uplink to a satellite. And again, at that time, satellite communications was just becoming a thing for mobile cellular. You know what I mean? It wasn't
still analog, not digital, too.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll pull it in the back for you so you can have a look.
That would be real interesting. I mean, it's almost like they gave you ideas because, like I said, in 91, I can't think of a time of an ATM machine coming out, but they wouldn't even call ATMs. They would call Mac machines, I remember.
I remember that Mac machines. Yeah. Well, those came out in the 80s. Yeah, I think, yeah. Mac machines, I remember. But usually you didn't have them like everywhere. Like you wouldn't go to a 7-Eleven. It would be the bank.
The bank would have
it would be outside the bank, like after hours if you wanted to get money or whatever. It would be outside the bank. But when they started showing up in mass,
that's right.
Oh, to correct your other question earlier on about the black guy who played John Connor in Terminator 2, the reason he didn't carry on doing it into Terminator 3 is because of drug addiction.
That's what it was. He was getting in trouble. Thanks. I remember hearing about that because there was a picture somewhere I saw of him online. He had a neck tattoo and everything else and got busted for possession or something or some other things.
Yeah, I had to Google that as well, so...
Oh, wow, Craig, I see it. At first, according to this...
He kind of, I think American History X might have been like his last... He was in that one, wasn't he? American History X?
He played Edward Norton's younger brother.
Yeah.
Edward Norton.
That might have been it for him as far as his last major role.
Because if I remember, Norton was his brother who got sent to prison and he came back reformed, trying to keep him out of the movement. And I think other than that, I haven't seen Furlough in anything else since. But according to what the article that Craig posted in the back chat, according to this, it came out in the 1970s. And at the same time, mid to late 70s. And it started in the 70s, large city adoption in the 80s. And then like 90s were laptop designs. And according to this, it was designed, it came out, who was doing this? Oh, they were known as mobile data terminals, MDTs. And the first police department to ever have it were the Vancouver Police Department. And I'm guessing that's the Vancouver Police Department in British Columbia or the police department in the state of Washington.
Yeah. We also got to say America too. We're always kind of slow to the to adopt like mass change. Like I know like back in the 80s, especially Japan had all this stuff. Japan had HD TV. I think like in the 80s, it didn't come to America until like the mid 90s.
Mid to late 90s.
Yeah, because I remember what was that? Nightline, ABC Nightline. I remember in the 80s did a show on and the crazy thing about it was you couldn't see because we're on the standard TV channel, right? And it's showing, oh, see this great picture on HD TV. No, you can't because our TVs are showing it in regular depth, right? So I can't see how great it is. But they were hyping it up. So, but that's just a peeve of mine. America has always been behind technologically.
Yeah.
Where you got all these countries and stuff, whether it be in medicine, whether it be in technology. Japan has always been ahead of us
Banking
in terms
too.
of things being. We get the leftovers, right?
Banking
like the
as
whole
well, because my sister, when she was living in Paris, they were already doing NFC payments before it became popular here in North America.
Oh yeah, yeah. But even like like the NES, which saved or resuscitated the home gaming industry, it was already in Japan for 2 years as the Famicom. I mean, it was already there. So that's always been a peeve of mine. We've never.
Thanks, Eric. You're right.
When did you guys say you had HD TV come to America?
Like the mid 90s.
Especially
in mass,
early 2000s.
But I'm saying, but it was here. But you spent a ton of money. Like, if you had money, $12,000, you would get like an HD. But the problem is in terms of when. But it was even later delayed because we got the TVs. No. But networks didn't start broadcasting in HD TV until what, the 2010s?
I think 2008. Because what happened was everything was getting converted from analog to digital, and if you still had an analog TV and you wanted to watch anything on a digital signal, you had to get a converter box. And I remember there was.
So for the most part, you only got like DVDs. When Blu-ray came out and whatnot, that was really the only time you could really take advantage of an HD TV is while watching.
And also,
movies.
Paul, remember there was a battle between Blu-ray and HD DVDs.
Yes.
Just like back in the day when we had VCRs,
Betamax and VHS.
Betamax and VHS.
I remember buying my first pirate fucking DVD back in the old pub in the early 2000s. That shit was awesome.
Wow.
And I had
and back then you had regions. So again, not all because do you guys use PAL standard still?
Yeah.
So that was the thing too. Because I could get some DVDs, but it's like was a PAL format. I was like, oh, I can't play. Or they used to program the DVDs for like Region 1,
Region 2,
and that sort of thing. So we couldn't. There's a lot of stuff we couldn't use.
But DVD players back then, there was very, very few in the UK. But I was one of the very lucky ones. You could play any DVD from any country on my DVD player. I was one of the very lucky ones to have it, and this was a cheap DVD player. But then my mum's ex-partner took a hammer to it. But yeah, then they decided when we moved into the pub, they spent probably about $1,000 on a DVD player with a surround sound system built into it. Yeah. And that thing played multi-regional shit on it. You could play it from any country.
Oh wow! I can tell you something. I can tell you something real quick. My wife knew someone that actually had one of the first Laserdisc players.
Yeah.
I still have a DVD drive.
No, Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
Oh,
that might have been before VHS, right?
No, that was a little after VHS, before DVDs. That was like early to mid 90s. Hold on, sweetheart.
No, Laserdisc came out in the 70s.
No, Laserdisc came out I think in the late 80s, early 90s.
Hang on, let me check that.
I
know we're going way off topic.
I know. Hold on, sweetheart. When was the first time you saw a Laserdisc player again? 94?
No, 78.
Really?
Laserdisc, Atlanta, Georgia, under the original name Disco Vision, 1978. They were a big record play, like those 78.
Yeah, they like 45s, but they were my goodness.
Well, there's a place in America where it has a like a museum of hard drives, and there would probably be a hard drive's disk itself, the actual platter, right, which was a hard drive, and it's literally the size of my living room, probably bigger,
Oh wow.
right, and it's only a couple of kilobytes, not
Yeah.
megabytes or terabytes or
Yeah.
gigabytes,
Oh, and guess what
kilobytes.
the first movie was on Laserdisc?
What was that?
Jaws.
Funny.
Wow.
Funny.
Unreal. I honestly, the one crazy thing I remember what they mentioned in Terminator 2. No, not Terminator 2. Yeah, it was Terminator 2. When they were talking to what's that engineer's name? When they went to his house and everything else, he worked for Cyberdyne. He
Oh yeah,
said-
Dyson.
Dyson, thank you. Dyson was talking about how that chip laid the foundation for a lot of things they were using tech-wise.
Oh yeah.
Like he was just talking about, yo, this
Right,
chip,
because it was broken. They just kind of I guess reverse engineered it to
And it
get
get- and it
Yeah.
gave them the blueprints for everything. And then when you see it in the X timeline for Genesis, Dyson did the same thing. Him and his son did the same thing, and it led to them to establishing Genesis, which is almost like their version of Google, or somewhere cross between Google, somewhere cross between Android and Apple. It
Yeah.
was that powerful.
Well, as I personally say, I personally think after Genesis they created Dark Fate. Okay, I still think they should have carried on that story. That's me.
Really, they
I
just
hear
kept they just kept going so many times back into the storyline. Like they went to 1984, and then they went further back
Yeah.
to when Sarah
Well,
Connor was a child.
In the Genesis one, the Terminator, instead of going back to 1985 to kill Sarah Connor, then he went back. It didn't even kill her. He literally went right back to her childhood in Genesis,
Yes,
and then brought her up. Yeah, and then because of his something happened, and because of his metal skin got burnt off straight down to the metal. In the sewers or whatever it was, he couldn't travel to the future to 2017 or whatever it was, yeah, or 2007, whenever it was, I can't remember, whatever. Um, so, so basically, he had to wait it out so his skin would grow back, and so yeah, you got Sarah Connor and John Connor's father
Reeves.
that travel to the future.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're in
and then-
1984, and then they go from 1984 to 2016, I think.
something like that. As I said, whatever it was.
And so that's a serious jump. And tech-wise, you think that's nothing, and then you don't realize how much technology has changed between 1984 and 2016.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because everyone's now back now. They've got fucking tablets,
But even
mobile
still,
phones,
I
that
mean,
sort of shit.
you guys got me thinking. I need to. It's been a long. I haven't been to a trade show in a long time, but I need to go to Vegas. Vegas used to have like the coolest like electronics.
E3.
If you want to see like what the future was like and what the stuff that was being released, you go to Vegas trade show. That was
Yeah, I think you had E3 and South
One
by
thing I would say
Southwest
to you, Paul,
also.
if you ever go to Vegas next time, fly to the UK, come and get me, hide me in your suitcase and take me out.
I'll try to make that happen.
And,
But
and
yeah,
best part-
Cut my legs
that's
off,
always
fit me in a
bugged me though.
suitcase,
So
but-
just back to the whole technology thing. I
I
just
love
think that
technology.
I've always felt that we're like 5 or 10 years behind where we should be, and a lot of that is just due to just like because again, any new technology is going to antiquate another, and
Right.
so people want to hold on to what they built. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And technology, as much as it enhances our lives, it also again it can take you out like the people who make it's almost like you're making like a Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
And which is the whole purpose of like the Terminator thing. It was made again, Dyson designed it for a benevolent purpose. And it's weird now, just as we go through these years, and now, I mean, we're having these conversations on AI, we're having these conversations on automation, and what I can certainly see a future in the next 10 years or so where planes will fly themselves.
when you're
I
saying
could I
Dyson,
could
you're
certainly
saying it's
see
going to
that
be
in
future.
the future where like commercial. I'm talking about commercial airplanes flying themselves.
Passenger or cargo? Both?
Yeah, yeah.
Both?
So if
Wow.
this is where it's going, I think the Terminator and why it has relevance still is because we're dealing with these kind of very topics. Where is this AI going to go? And what happens? Will AI ever become sentient? Like, will AI have an Ultron moment and be like, what's wrong with the world? Oh, it's them. Okay, let's do something better. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how far, but I think as we've gone on in time, and again, all this stuff started in the 80s, right? I mean, before Terminator, or it might have been around the same time. War Games was out. It was the same
Yep.
thing, right?
Yep.
Like
Right,
the
82, 83, I think it came
the
out.
computers got smart, and they thought that the solution was human eradicate. That's always been a peace, Eric.
Eric, have a good one.
That's
And thank you for
always
some of the stuff
been
you brought up, too.
a thing in that 80s sci-fi was that idea of the computers getting smart. Going back even before the 2001, the HAL 9000, right?
2001: A Space Odyssey.
HAL got a bad program. I forget. I think 2010 explained a Morbius loop or something like that. It got caught in a Morbius loop where its logic got messed up.
David,
And again, the whole thing was like, oh, I got to take the humans out. So it's like,
David, what are you doing?
yeah. And so again, this idea of these machines becoming smart, it enhances certainly a great deal of what we do, but it scares the bejeebies out of us at the same time. And I haven't remembered this kind of growing up in the 80s. We were thinking, yeah, that's kind of sci-fi, but now it's kind of reality where people are saying is human. I was literally watching something. The guy who does the videos on businesses that came and gone.
Right.
He talked about bowling. And he said back in the day, you had hundreds of thousands of kids employed at bowling alleys because they would set up the pins after you bowled, hit the pins or whatever. You had kids sitting back there and they would go and rearrange the pins and whatnot. But when they came out with those automated, machines that sweep them away and reset the pins for you, that took hundreds of thousands of kids out of work.
Honestly, the funny thing
I've never
about
seen pictures of that shit.
And ironically, with this Terminator talk, it made me realize of another movie that came out back in the 80s as well. And I'm surprised we never brought it up about a machine becoming self-aware. Short Circuit.
Yeah. I don't remember. I remember the movie, obviously, but I wasn't like in love with it. I thought they were kind of getting cute with the, with some of the with some of the things there. But yeah, obviously it was an 80s movie, no question.
Yeah, but that's the other thing I could think of was here you had this company out in Portland, Nova Robotics. Here they are. They have the Saint program. They got these 5 robots that are very durable and reliable, very powerful. The military was looking at them like, hey, we could use these things as well as for other stuff. And I remember like it was supposed to be seen as the wave of the future. And I remember the 2 engineers that came up with the designs for these robots, these 2 young guys, these 2 young hotshots, a guy named Newton Crosby, of course, played by Steve Guttenberg, and his partner, Ben Javari. I forgot who the actor was that played. I think it was Fisher Stevens. Where these hotshot engineers designed these billion-dollar robots, very technically advanced, very weaponized and everything else. Crosby actually designed it originally for education, medical research, and other purposes.
Right.
But Nova wanted to, of course, use it for the military. And that was like
speaking of military, because I don't know if you see, like in my Facebook feed, I've been seeing they've been showing a lot of these robotic videos, robots dancing, robots on track and field, like running, robots lifting weights. Do you think that even in the military, I know we got drones already, right?
Right.
But if you get to, or would it even be necessary? You got robots on the field. Like literally soldiers made up of these robots that kind of can go in and because even RoboCop kind of had some of that, right? The Ed 209s were kind of like these, patrol type of robots that went around, and even in the remake, they did the 2000, which I actually liked. Actually, I didn't think
I
it was
enjoyed it.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the same thing, but they had the Ed 209s, but then they also had the stealthier, more soldier-like, and he had to train against the scene where he has to, has to shoot out with them and whatnot, and train and all that kind of stuff. Do you think that's coming, where they will put robots instead of soldiers on the battlefield to
Absolutely.
It's going to come down to that point. And of course, a lot of these generals and admirals are going to look at us like, think about it. You can put them out in the field, put them on ships. They don't eat. They don't sleep. They don't worry about their shift. You don't have to worry about whether they're going to be disciplined or not. They feel like that's the perfect ones because you can have it out there for as long as you want and not worry about anything happening. But at the same time, you still need people to maintain them. And are they willing to invest in that as well? And at the same time, each branch is going to be saying how many they should get. Who should get the most?
Yeah.
Which other branches should get the most? Of course, the army, and I'm not just saying this because I'm an army vet. Of course, the army is going to say, well, we deserve the most because we're the largest branch. So on and so forth. We have the most personnel. So they're going to be fighting for they're going to be fighting for what they want. Of course, you're going to have the Navy fighting for whatever they feel they need, as well as maybe fighting for the Marine Corps too, because they're the smallest ones of the branch. The Air Force is going to be fighting for whatever they want as well for aviation. I'm not even counting the Space Force in this argument.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to count them. And then, of course, the Coast Guard is going to say something. People are going to say, well, you're not a military branch, but they say in a time of war, we fall under the Department of the Navy. We're going to want something in return as well. So it's just going to be so many individuals and decision makers that are going to say who should get the most and who should get the most reliable ones. And that's going to be the challenge right there. But at the same time, at the end of the day, you still need that human because you got to trust their instinct, their gut. And that training is always going to come to you in some way, shape, or form. And like Rhodey said in the first Iron Man, the future of aviation, is it manned or unmanned? And as much as you may want to go with the unmanned because they don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't have to worry about all these things, a computer can never match a human pilot's instinct, intuition, ingenuity, and motivation.
They're saying that for now, but the one thing I remember from the RoboCop movie, they're also not going to hesitate because that was part of the whole training program. Why they had to in the second RoboCop movie,
I kind of disagree
they had to
with
take
that.
away more of his humanity because he would like pause. But they're saying that pausing, that 1 to 2 second pause could mean the difference between life and death. So they had to make him more robotic so that he would
never hesitate.
Right. So in like I said, in a war theater, I mean, soldiers get scared, soldiers get shell shocked, and all those things. You may not, or if you're in this thing, okay, you got civilians, and you may change how you do things because of that. So again, they may make that calculation as well to say that robots or AI is not going to have that pause or delay or whatever that. So yeah, I get the soldier the human having the instincts, but he who hesitates oftentimes is the one who loses.
True.
So
that's true.
How are you going to weigh both of those?
But a machine's not going to know the difference between a civilian on the battlefield and a combatant. And the only way that machine will probably see someone as a combatant is unless that person picks up a weapon. But other than that, that machine could look at a person near the weapon and would assume the person is a combatant. And that person could be an 8-year-old child or a young mother who is with child.
Right. But here's the scary thing, though. Because again, we talk about that, and again, if you go back to like Vietnam and some of the atrocities there, Some of those soldiers weren't down dead. Like you tell that machine to go out, if you tell that machine to just go and just level this place, there's not going to be any second guessing. And unfortunately, we know that those kind of commands, for whatever reason, that stuff goes on. The last thing you want in that situation is a soldier second guessing his superior officer on the battlefield. Even though military conduct, especially after those atrocities in Vietnam, or say, look, you have we had a situation just recently, right? It's like with our leaders, like Senator came out and said again, as a soldier, you're authorized that you don't have to follow an illegal order. Now, will they program that into the AI, the robots, though?
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean,
they're gonna have a code. Like if you remember watching the movie Stealth, when the droid, was flying fine until he got struck by lightning.
Right.
But the point I'm trying to bring that up, as much I want to agree with you, Paul, we are not technology-wise ready for that kind of Pandora's box.
Exactly.
As much I don't want to see my brothers and my sisters on combat levels, because you know how many friends I have in the military. You met two of them, Paul, and one of them was at your house, if you remember.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're anywhere near that yet.
Right.
Because
for sure.
Generals,
but yeah,
as much as these generals would love that, it says no food, no nothing, no. Nobody's going to pull that trigger yet, because it's the other key factor when nobody forgets about this. And Call of Duty Black Ops 2 said it in the trailer when it says, what happens if the enemy gets the keys to our technology?
Exactly.
And that's the other factor we have to worry about. Or suddenly.
Well, but what would escalate that, though? You talk about the enemies. If the enemies are working on this, again, go back to World War II.
We're working on it already.
Right. Go back to World War II. I mean, the Germans were already working on the bomb. They were already working on stuff, right?
Yeah.
Einstein had to write Roosevelt and be like, look, you better get some people on this. We didn't even have a nuclear physics department in the United States at that time. Right. Like I said, that point I said earlier, we're always last, which scares me to death.
Because, and a lot of people forget, a lot of the people that helped the U.S. in World War II were working for the other side of World War
That's
I.
what I'm saying, right? So if this stuff, if China or whoever's working on, because all those robots I was talking about earlier is all Chinese stuff. Like they got robots running like track and field races. You had this one, he was doing like a clean and jerk, like lifting weight off the ground. I mean, they didn't get it quite right, but they're spending all this capital and money trying to develop this stuff. And all you need to see is a live, like, if some China or whoever it is, they come out with one of these things, then we're going to be like, oh, snap. It's going to be, but it's just like the moon launch. The Russians got to space first. And then we said, Kennedy was like, all right, we got to put a man on the moon in 10 years. We always got to be scared into acting versus just we want to do this for just the scientific knowledge
we're very reactive and not proactive.
Exactly.
And
unfortunately, Paul, I think Anthony's going to back me up on this. Is yes, we are already working on all this stuff behind the scenes, and obviously people in the Pentagon on a very high level and know about this. If you think they're not working on it, you're fooling yourself. Now, how far in advance we are versus other countries, that is the question. Same thing with the Y-22. When that came out, people were literally blown. And they're like, I know they were working on this. And what are you, fucking on drugs? Of course they were working on this. But when they finally leaked and it came out, that plane's been out for over 20 years at this point. And
that's another thing. Like the next generation jet fighter is already 15 years old, right? Because it's like the R&D and the development and the field and like I said, it just takes forever. But back in the day, Skunk Works, right?
Mm-hmm.
They developed the SR-71 in 5 years back then.
And that was the same program that helped develop the stealth bomber too.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like back then, there was this.
They were very
this
proactive.
moonshot effort.
Yes.
To this day, think about it. The SR-71 to this day, that was not a digital plane. It was an analog plane. It's still the fastest,
Yep.
highest altitude.
Yep.
It's still the most consequential military plane ever, and it came out 60-something years ago, 1962.
It's still that standard bearer,
It's
and
still
you have
that.
not heard
And, I mean, you look at it. I mean, when anytime I go to New York and go to the
Intrepid.
the Intrepid, and that's not even an SR, it's an A-12. But that being said,
Or you go
I'm
down
just
to
saying,
the Smithsonian.
it just, even to this day, it's iconic. You look at it, especially when you get the X-Men tie-in and you see the Blackbird and you see that, and it was so cool in First
and
Class.
Transformers too.
Right. But I'm saying, but even in First Class, where
Right.
they modeled, like they literally took, because I thought the one in the first X-Men movie, I thought it was too flat. I'm like, how do you get all these people? The thing was like flatter than a pizza box. I don't even see how you get people to actually be up in there. So I thought the design was a little bit too much. But when they actually had like a real SR-71/A-12 body type in X-Men First Class, I was like, wow. I mean, and even to this day, it's still my favorite aircraft of all time. And I used to know all of them. F-14 Tomcats, F-15s, F-104 Starfighters. I mean, you know, all I used to bet when I was a kid, I knew all the aircraft. I could just look at it and I could tell you exactly what that aircraft was.
And what's also so iconic about the SR-71 is Hasbro used that design for the G.I. Joe series. The Cobra Night Raven is basically designed similar to that of the SR-71.
None of this stuff what you guys saying, I'm agreeing 100%. Paul, you're 100% right. And by the time we find out the technology civilians, the technology is already obsolete. The technology has been out for years.
Exactly.
Like when the F-22, hang on,
Yeah.
when the F-22, it was two planes, the F-22 and the F-23. The
Yes.
F-23 got retired because the F-22 was easier. Right now, they're saying, from information I have, the F-22 is going to be retired very soon because it's too expensive to maintain.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they're not.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
think
they need to
that
find a new
whole
plane.
industry, like I don't know what they're trying to do, right? I mean, planes
what
that
I'm
can,
trying to say is what they're trying to do is find a universal jet fighting plane that doesn't cause an arm and a leg. That's why the F-17, I believe, is the Hornet.
F-118 Hornet.
F-118 Hornet.
Thank you. That's why that still gets updates to this day because it's cheap to maintain.
Right.
Yeah.
And when they say military grade or technical tac or whatever it's called, it doesn't mean expensive. It means fucking cheap.
Yeah.
That's what
also another aircraft that there's still
finish your point so we can get our final thoughts after that.
Okay, and another aircraft that the military has been upgrading for the last 30 plus years, and everyone talked about that. Oh, it's going to retire.
B-52,
The A-10 Thunderbolt, aka the Warthog. That bad boy is still
killer.
Yes.
It's literally
the gun with wings. They call it the gun with wings for a reason.
It's a gun that flies. It is the ugliest. It's one of the ugliest aircraft I've ever seen.
But that aircraft
has the strongest armor of a plane.
Yeah, it's a gun. It's literally a flying gun. That's exactly what it is.
All right, Anton, you want to go first?
Sure. Final thoughts. All right. The Terminator has been basically one of the best sci-fi movies in this series. I feel like after they did Salvation, that is when they should have ended it, as a tribute to the late Stan Winston, the man who designed the skeleton of the Terminator, the T-800. Now, this was a very interesting discussion on who can you see defeating the Terminator. Characters from Marvel, characters from DC, or even from any other genres within comic books. It would have been a very interesting fight. Yes, Magneto. I'm surprised no one ever thought about Magneto defeating the T-800 simply because all he has to do is manipulate the metal and crush it like a soda can. But then when you look at other individuals that aren't metahumans or mutants, people like Batman, people like Lex Luthor, people like, oh God, who else? I was thinking about too. You got Deadpool, your Wolverine as well. I gotta throw that in there as well. You're gonna have a very interesting situation to see how that goes. And then when you look at the many variances of Terminators that were used within the story, from the T-800 made and the 850 made popular by Arnold Schwarzenegger, the T-1000 made famous by Robert Patrick, and I forgot who the other actor was that played the T-1000, and I believe it was Genesis. It just makes it a very interesting situation how it can be done, or is it even possibly done. My favorite variation definitely has to be Marcus Wright from Salvation, because even though he had the inner skeleton of a Terminator, he still had the mind, he still had the brain and the thought process of a human being, and that's what made him the perfect infiltrator. Because the person has memories, knows their senses and everything else. You can sit there and say that's programming or software. Is it really programming or software, or is this a person that actually remembers certain things that we tend to take for granted? I like the fact that we had this discussion because it's really interesting, and it's of course easy just to go with the T-800 or T-850, but seeing the T-1000, the Marcus Wright version, and all the other variances of Terminators, is it that simple? Is it that easy? Can it be done? And who could do it? That's what I like about this, because it makes it very interesting in so many ways. And hopefully we could do a part 2 on this sometime down the road, because I think there's some people that we left out, and I think this will make this even more interesting. And that's all I got to say. And those are words we're thinking about.
Yeah, no question. As I was saying, I think Terminator is more relevant than ever, just given where technology is, where it's going, the discussions on automation and AI. And people are asking very legitimate questions, very ethical questions about how far can this go? You know, do the benefits outweigh the potential dangers of AI in the future? Yeah, it may cure cancer one day, but then it may do something else to us. Maybe it may think that we're the cancers that need to be removed. So I think all these questions are what keeps the franchise alive. I would just like to see more content dealing with that futuristic world, that world of 2020. You can start in 2024 and take it all the way up to 2029 or whenever the time is. I think you can have a lot of fun in that world and seeing how humans were able to not only survive but also conquer in that world. In regards to the Terminators, in terms of here, I think a lot of these characters that were mentioned tonight can certainly check out a Terminator, at least an 800 anyway. I still think, I know Wally mentioned earlier about the 800, the 1000s, but I still think Magneto would certainly have an advantage. Any kind of metal or whatever. I mean, he has manipulation over the Earth's magnetic field. So I think he can certainly do anything he can think of. I think he can do with the 1000s. But that being said, against humans, it'd be very tough. Like a Batman or even a Captain America, again, very tough to take him down. But again, I think that Terminators are, or the whole idea of Skynet and where things are going. Again, very relevant conversation, and this was a good one tonight. Appreciate it, Pete. Thanks.
That's what I'm for. That's what I'm here for, right? All right. Let me do a quick schedule, then I have to make a unfortunately bad announcement. All right. We are having a gray area. Do you remember the topic this week?
I think kissing.
I'm not kissing you.
Yeah, I love you too, sweetheart, but not like that.
Fuck you. Okay, so we're talking about kissing. Oh, my girl's gonna love this shit. So we are on Monday. We're talking about Roman Reigns. Is he already on Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Spartan Arena will be posted this next couple of days. Just give me patience, guys. I'm working on it right now, actually. And next week we are talking about the Dark Knight versus the Ninja Knight versus the Dark Knight, Shredder versus Batman.
Okay.
So I'm actually looking forward for that conversation, to be honest with you, Paul. So let's get this thing. So guys, unfortunately, this week has not been a good week for celebrities. Yesterday we lost Dolly
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Patrick. She was 80, and today, unfortunately, we lost Tim Curtin, a great actor, voice actor. He was in Home Alone. He was a little. He always remind me of a guy who will play the Grinch for some reason. Obviously, he
That
never
smile.
did. Yes, it was a creepy fucking smile, bro. You gotta admit that. We lost two legends today. Our prayers and love go to the family. Unfortunately, from the Spartan HQ Network family to theirs. Hopefully, they will.
Oh, and also Hayden Panettiere.
Pantera, yeah.
Pantera, yeah. She was
Pantera, I think.
Yeah, she was an actress. She was only 37.
That missed my radar. I apologize then.
Yeah, yeah. So
hopefully they can rest easy knowing they're in a better place with our Lord and Savior God, of course, and Jesus Christ.
Let me make this one quick announcement for anyone. If you want to see one of the best things Tim Curry has been in, check out the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I've heard of it, but I didn't realize the significance until actually a buddy of mine in the Army in basic training told me about it, and that's by far one of his favorite movies. And if you're looking for the one thing that put Tim Curry on the map, definitely check out the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, I know it's one of his top movies out there.
Yeah.
Besides some other ones. Except that, guys, as always, this is Spartan HQ Network. I am the Spartan. My man Anton, my man Paul. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, have a good one. Be safe, everybody.